This model kit review is of the 1966 Pontiac GTO, and it is a 1/25th scale model by Revell, part of the Revell Muscle series. And here we've got some dimensions there, and the same picture. Here's a picture of the actual model completed, and you could use this to recreate a model from one of the Fast and Furious movies. So let's have a look inside and see what we've got. It's a fairly large car, one of those old boats. So let's have a look here first and check out our body. So first of all, here we've got our main body. It's actually very nicely molded with a good level of surface detail there and there. Don't really have too many mold lines. They've kind of built it in there. One little mold line there, but that's easily fixable. And nice grille lights there for the rear brake lights. We've got a nice engine bay, it looks like. Here we've got our tyres, which are made out of stiff vinyl. They've got the red line built in already. And then here's our rear lights made out of red clear plastic. And over here we've got our chrome parts. And good amount of detail. Pity that when you cut it off, you're going to have to patch up that chrome there on the side and underneath. This looks like this is our interior part there for our central console. We've got some more engine parts here. Windshield wipers, license plates. We've got some wheels. Looks like maybe two different options there. There's our steering wheel and our rear bumper. The rest of these parts are all molded in white except for our clear for our glass. But let's have a look at the white plastic parts first. So here's our chassis, and that's got a good level of detail. Got our fuel tank there and subframe. Here's our engine with transmission. Got our oil pump there. Oil tank, sorry, oil pan. We've got our engine parts there. Here we've got our cabin with the rear bench seats, front and back there, radiator, and then our subframe parts there with rear axle and diff. Here's our looks like part of our radiator there as well, and then engine or firewall. Got some parts of our suspension, torsion bars there, and probably the radiator hoses there. Here's our dashboard. We've got our exhausts here with mufflers and headers, more parts of the wheels. These are going to be the inside wheels. Here's our pedal box and our fan. Here's our hood with a scoop, some suspension parts, parts for the engines, lots of his distributor cap there, belts and battery and so on. Here's the insides of the door panels. So, lastly we're going to look at our clear glass, which is also nicely molded. We've got some details here for our headlights, side, front and rear windshield. That looks like that's for our instrument panel dashboard. We do have some decals here. We just dashboards and different license plates there, and then lines for the car. Some logos, GTO. Okay, we'll have a look at our details. Here's some details about the car. And those are the colors needed. Okay, we've got our engine being built there with carburetor up top, and all these additional parts going on there. Here's our subframe going on, and steering rack there, steering column actually. Engine's then mounted. Then we've got our exhaust system, rear suspension and axle, with our drive shaft will be mounted. Then we've got our wheels and tires. Build the cabin there with our seats, dashboard there, that all gets mounted, and then our firewall, that's all then mounted inside. The body glass goes in next, mount the cabin, and then shows you where to put some of these pipes here. We mount our chassis, additional details there for, looks like our subframe, details for the engine bay, and then our front grille and rear bumper. There's the hood, additional details for the side and front of the car, and there is our decal and paint guide. So that's actually very nicely molded and a fair level of detail.